Hey everyone, it's Types, and today I'm gonna be attempting to rank all of the control cards for like different control decks that I can. I'm not doing every single one because I already have like a lot here. So if there are certain ones that I didn't cover that you want me to cover, comment them down below and I'll try to cover them in the future. And some of these are kind of weird, like in very general. You'll see the list. I'm probably missing some. But let's just hop straight into it. First of all, we got Radiant Greninja, which for control I don't think is very good. It's not awful. I'll probably put in D though. I feel like it's the benefit it gives to a list isn't amazing. You oftentimes don't really want to be getting rid of your energy because that's kind of an important resource. It's certainly not an awful card, but you may get Pathed, which you can't always necessarily easily bump, and you usually don't mind generally, but it turns this off. Overall, not the strongest option, but I might end up bumping it up one slot. A lot of other people like it, but I don't think it's amazing. The same thing with Luxray. Luxray's it's all right. It removes a card from their hand, like a trainer, which is good, but it's a little awkward to pull off. It's a two prizer, and it's not really something you're looking to attack with multiple times, so it's a little too vulnerable for me. There are times when I use it, but for the most part, it's a bit of like a Hail Mary type of card, and if you miss, which you will, like a lot of the time, unless you have certain ways to like see into their hand, which we'll get into, it's not the best. So it's all right. Maybe it's C, and I'll keep it in D. I think generally like most of these cards they're all like playable certainly. Next up, Regieleki. That's easily A tier, I think, allowing you to recover a trainer. It's probably the best recovery in the game. Should it be S tier? Yeah, I'll put in S tier. It probably belongs to pretty much every control deck. It allows for loops. It's pretty much your only way to beat Lost Zone. It's a pretty strong card. It's just inherently like very good. Diancie is okay, C tier, I'd say. It's an okay wall. Can be gushed around too easily. It depends on what lists you're running, though. Like, they can still boss Curlias and stuff and evolutions. So I'd say it's only going to be in C tier here. It's not a card I choose to play, but I know some people like it, and it's a pretty mediocre card. Miltank, honestly, I wouldn't really recommend playing Miltank. I'm gonna put this one in F tier. I know some people play it, but it allows you to wall Vs and you don't need Psychic Energy, which is all right, but I feel like walling EXs is so good. Like there's so many EX decks. Mimikyu is just such a good wall. So I wouldn't really ever choose to play Miltank. So yeah. Silene. Silene's probably A tier. It allows you to recover anything. It's like inconsistent and not the strongest card, but it's kind of important. So Hisuian Heavy Ball is good as well. Probably A tier. You probably put it in every like control deck. It's not obviously the most powerful card and doesn't necessarily get you what you want, but a lot of times you have a basic price and it adds some value. Urida is C tier. I don't really play it too much. Actually, no, it's C, I guess. Most controllers play some water Pokemon, but um, it's not the most powerful card. Roxanne's alright. I'll put in C tier as well. I know some people like this card a lot in control, and theoretically it should be very good, but your opponent has to have taken three prizes already, um, which they obviously won't have done, specifically at the beginning, and that's when you want to set up the most. So, Roxanne's only okay. Switch cart is not good. It's okay in certain, but it's like good in Snorlax, but I think it's only D tier. It's a bit underwhelming. It doesn't allow you to switch out your evolutions. It can be nice in some builds. I guess it's C for like Snorlax, but it's generally not the most useful. Temple Sinnoh. I don't think Temple Sinnoh is good. I'm trying to think like what it's there for. I don't know every like matchup, but I feel like most of the time people can like bump it and it can slow them down a little, but I'd rather play some more like Universal Stadium or probably some setup stadium. Manaphy for bench barrier is all right. It's again C tier. It's nothing particularly special. It's something that I usually don't run in control list. Actually, I'll put in D because it's like all right, but people usually don't play it. Mimikyu V is all right. I'd say it's fallen off. It's a bit inconsistent. Doesn't really help you in too many matchups. I think generally it's outclassed by Regieleki for like Lost Zone stalling stuff, so I'll put it in D tier. Pot Helmet. is it's pretty good. It's probably B tier. It's pretty important on either your Mimikyus or your Mawiles to protect against a certain low, like weaker single prize Pokemon. It's not the most powerful card in the game, but it definitely comes in clutch sometimes. Trying to see if we're like missing cards. Nah, I don't think. Maybe like one or two, but we should be fine. Team Yellow's Cheer, again, a pretty good card. I've seen lists just not run it. Like I've seen lists not run it, and it's okay. It just probably isn't infinite if you don't run it, but you can hopefully get by. You need to like get lucky with Silene. It's not like as powerful of a card because the supporters go back into your deck or Pokemon, but mostly supporters. Um, so I'd say Team Yellowstream is only alright. It's not like as powerful as it's kind of comparable to like Lusamine, but it's much worse than Lusamine. Double Turbo is very good. I guess it's A tier. Um, it's not like super broken and enables some better attacks. Actually, it only enables like Yveltal. So it's A tier. Like you can retreat with. Yeah, it's probably like the best energy. Psychic energy. I decided I'm not gonna rank these. I like. I'll. Yeah, I'm not gonna rank these. There wait till you delete these. Yeah, I think those like don't make a ton of sense to put on this list. I was originally thinking about it. Maybe we'll do it at the end. But yeah, so Indeedee here is okay. I don't really know too much about Indeedee. It like does damage based on I think cards in your hand. It can be big, but like it's not always big. It can like KO stuff. I guess it's C. It's a card that I really haven't experimented too much with, but I don't think it's the best. Level Ball, it's alright. It's I'll put in D though. Like a lot of lists just don't really need it. Single Strike Energy, I don't know. I wouldn't like really ever play this. It's very niche. Um, yeah, I don't really see the value of it. Same thing with Umbreon V. I don't really know why people play Umbreon V. Comment that down below if you know that. Like I get it can like trap and I get it can like KO stuff too, but it's weird. I guess it like KO Sableye and that's kind of why you want it, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of this card. Flying Pikachu VMAX is all right. It's probably B. It's something that I cut from my list, but it's nice in a few matchups. So it's kind of sketchy against Lawson though. Yveltal is again, I guess it's A. It's like game defining in a few matchups. It's weird because the matchups don't come up too often, but like if you play for Yveltal, you'll never lose to Mew um, or Lugia, so that's probably good. Gardevoir, I probably would never play this Gardevoir. It's just too um, like it's not really worth the deck space. Curly is good enough. Echoing Horn is very good. That's probably also S tier, allowing you to drag your basic from the discard onto the bench. Such a powerful ability, and one that I like never not play. Flannery is okay, and Giacomo. These two, I don't know which is better. They're both alright, and it's just up to personal preference. And they're both maybe like a C tier. They're only okay. Sometimes they're very good, but most of the time they're just pretty meh. Um, Giacomo's good against certain matchups if your opponent like plays not super well, but obviously if they're not playing super well, then it doesn't matter as much anyway. And Flannery's also just okay. Like moving special energy is like good, but I don't know. Path is good, I guess. It's probably B. Or maybe it's C. Like a lot of like your Rotom V is so good. So I have Peony here twice. Whoops. Peony is good. It's probably A. You play it in pretty much every control deck, but it's not the most powerful card in the world because it like takes time to get stuff out of your parts, but it does get them out eventually. Um, and then it like allows you to see more cards, just kind of like a draw supporter. So I think Peony is probably gonna be A tier. Lucky Energy, like I don't know anyone who plays Lucky Energy. I'll put it in D. It doesn't seem particularly good. Rotom V, ECS tier, best draw card in the game, or best like control draw card in the game, just to draw three. Well, we'll talk about a few other options, but I think it is the best one. The V Star, on the other hand, I wouldn't really ever play this. I'd always play Forest Seal Stone, which is here. Forest Seal Stone is gonna be probably it's only B. Like you only use it once per game, and the V Star is probably like C. Or is it low? No, V-Star can be C, that's fine. Rescue Carrier, kind of niche. What's it used for? I don't really know. It obviously gets back a few things, but it doesn't get back like all the stuff. I'll put it in D here. Trekking Shoes is It's all right. I think it's good in. I mean, it's like it like doesn't use it fills up space, which isn't great. I'd say it's D. I don't really recommend putting this in your list. I used to think it was good, maybe top of D, but I think it's you can draw well enough without it. You don't need it. Stormy Mountains, a card I like, is probably B. It's gets I mean Rotom and Regieleki are so good, so it's important for that, but it's not the most important card in general. Zinnia's Resolve is an okay, it's probably pretty good control support. I'd probably give it B. Your opponent's gonna try probably have a small bench actually. I'll just put it in C. Next up we got Crabominable. Crabominable is not great. I put it in D. It's a bit awkward to use because it's like a different energy type, and it's again kind of like Luxray. It's good in certain scenarios. Crabominable creates certain threats, but really you could not have Crabominable in your deck, and assuming it's not open list, which obviously most of the time you're not playing open list, then your opponent will just like be worried about it, even though it's not coming, which is fine, which is good. Pikumuku is okay. That's Senju's Eileen. It has certain like good things. Since you love ball, but it's only a C. It's okay. It's kind of a weird card to use. One of the cards that I for a while had like issues using. Like I just wasn't. I was kind of confused when you'd use it. It has synergy with Irida, but it's not the strongest card. Mel VIP Pass, I probably wouldn't play this. You could play this in 1-up, but I don't really think it's worth it. I'd play Nest Ball over Battle VIP Pass and Ultra Ball and maybe Lava Ball as well. I'm not a fan of it, but obviously if you're playing like lots of Arvin, it's good, but or Irida, but I wouldn't really do that. Cross Switcher. Cross Switcher's okay. I'd probably put it C. It's only good in like certain builds of control, like Snorlax control, but I don't know. I think it has some value obviously to discuss on an item, so it's inherently good. Sydney I've always found too inconsistent. But now there are actually ways of hitting it more consistently, so I'll put it in C. But I haven't messed with that too much. Mawile Easy Ass, probably the best control card in the game. Just instant trap. It's so good. There's also Snorlax, which is traps with its ability, but you can get gusted around, so it's probably only B. It's pretty good. It's easier. It's substantially easier to play. Snorlax control is substantially easier to play than like regular control, but it's not as good. It's like it's its skill ceiling is lower. Or it's like the best the deck can do it is a bit lower. Not that I play it optimally, and like no one plays Pokemon optimally. And people aren't even like pushing the skill ceiling, but if they theoretically were, Snorlax control is easier to play than the other control decks. And at the skill like Flourish, Snorlax control is easier to play as well. But anyway, yeah, Snorlax isn't as good as Mawile because they can gust around it. Pidgeot V is okay. It's useful on a few lists. It depends what you want to do. It like, makes your list infinite. It's kind of like an easy chuck, and then you don't need to worry about like Silent and Yellowstrip, but those are good cards. So B. Bouffalon is pretty good. It's probably A. It's pretty awkward to use. Oh yeah, that you need double terror for that too. I forgot. That's fair. I'll probably move double terror up to A as well. But it's how you can beat like Lost Zone decks, but it's still hard to do. Some people are leaning more into Bouffalon. I'm not like a major fan, but it's still a pretty decent card. Colorless Experiment is probably just like it's probably B. It's just a pretty decent draw supporter. Um, then we got Lost City. I don't really play Lost City. It's kind of sketchy because you can always like get Lost City yourself, but it can be nice. I'll just put it in C. It's good against Lost Zone to get rid of Sableye. But even then, it doesn't always necessarily get the job done. So I'd say it's only C. Misfortune Sisters, I guess, are in B. They're like so random, right? They just random mill. But you can almost get unlucky. So I don't know. Panic Mask. Oh, this is a card that I've always been like so confused about. Like I kind of get the idea, but it's kind of weird. I'd say this is probably D. Someone I've like kind I don't know how does Panic Mask so it like walls off from Pokemon that have like low HP. But I don't know. I don't know enough about Panic Mask control decks, so someone please explain that to me. If I rate it too low, tell me as well. But yeah, I'm not. I know about control, but I don't know every single thing. I'm gonna say that. You know, I'm a control player, but not quite yet the control master. But Fearless is actually one of the decks I played recently. which actually the player commented on my video and like explained what stuff to me. I think Fear has potential. I'd say it's B. I don't think that list was optimal that I played. And I certainly did not play it optimally either. But I think Fear has potential as it's inherently like good at shit for lots of cards. It's kind of like Rotom. It's an attacker. I don't think it's as good as Rotom. It's an evolution you have to attack, but it's all right. Um, Zubat. I think Zubat's good. Zubat, if it's active, lets you look at your opponent's hand, which is so powerful. I don't know how you'd like get this working, but I think Zubat is insane. I mean, it's B tier. It's like good. It'll activates like Sydney. It activates Erica's invitation or whatever. So it's pretty good. MUEX, I would not like play this with the control like ever. I don't know how you do that. Erica's invitation is pretty good. It's probably A. It's probably the new best way of getting cards from hand as opposed to Manaphy, which is just like B. Or Manaphy is probably C now. Pillibolt, Walls, Lightning Pokemon. That's okay. Is it great? It's not great. I probably wouldn't play this, but it's top of D. It's good against Miraidon, right? It's not really good against anything else, but and Miraidon does have Mew, but I don't always play that. And they have Squawkabilly, but that's not going to go too well. Um, let's see. Next we got Cleffa. Cleffa's all right. It's probably C. It's very awkward to use and not one that I've found use for, but it's a decent card. Pidgeot. It's probably D. It can get pathed. I'll compare it to Kirlia, and there's also Guardy EX. I would not play Guardy EX. I know some people like it, has some value, but I wouldn't play it. But Kirlia is so good. Kirlia is probably A. It's the I think Kirlia and Rotom are like the draw ship. And the tiers are like kind of ordered, but not exactly. Mimikyu, probably A as well. That's where you need Psych Energy, so I'd highly recommend playing it, but it's a very good card. Arven is B. It's better than Irida, but it's not insane. Like Force Heal Stone is the tool you're looking for. But I'll talk about some of the other like stuff that goes with it. Very Charm, Fighting Olay, Leafy Camera Poncho. Leafy Camera Poncho I wouldn't really play. Uh, we only have like two V stars. I mean, I don't think this card's that good. Finding a Light is good, and Bravery Charm is like a must play. It's probably top of A. Because you can use these to like loop Regielekis. That's kind of the idea. Versus Penny. Penny is S tier as well. Penny is super good. Has so much synergy. Maybe top of A. Which is another way to loop Regielekis. Pokemon League HQ is okay. It's an okay Disruption Stadium, but it's not the best. I'll probably just put it in D. Artazone is alright. It allows you to set up pretty well, but also it obviously helps your opponent. And we'll go the other stadiums as well. Beach Court is kind of sketchy. It's probably only in D tier because it helps your opponent so much. Calamitous Wasteland is I'd probably put it in actually Pokemon League HQ is probably C. I'll put Calamitous Wasteland in D. It's I don't know. It's not the best card. Like it's awkward to use, and I don't think it's quite good enough. You're usually looking to trap something like completely. So then retreat cost doesn't matter. Boss obviously S tier. Iono also going to be S tier. I think it's the best draw supporter for control. Apparently we have Super Rod here twice, so Super Rod is B. It's good, I guess. Special energies. I wouldn't really play reversal, but Jet is good. V-Guard's like a little awkward to use in my opinion, but it's pretty good. Jet's A is a very solid special energy, one that I don't always play, but it's good. Radiant Serena, the only other contention like playable Radiant is probably D. I usually like wouldn't play any Radiant either. Alolan Vulpix is A, super great wall. Worker is probably C. Yeah, I don't think it's a great draw supporter. Radiant Eevee. Radiant Eevee is also C. I think Radiant Eevee is playable. It's like Fearow. It's a bit awkward. It's not one I've worked with either. But anyone who's played that, tell me how good it's gone. It's one that I think is good, but I haven't mind too much. Klefki isn't good enough. I don't think it's probably D. Things are getting off the screen. That's fine. Hammers are good in C. They're good. Kind of impressions to these end ones, but I don't think there's too much to say about them. Like Pokegear, no, Pokegear is like bad. I don't know. I don't like Pokegear. Catcher is pretty good. Catcher's probably B. Ultra Ball, I'd say S. This is the best like Pokemon search in the game. Palpad is also obviously S, and Energy Search is probably like D. I would not. It's probably F. I wouldn't really ever play that. But yeah, here is, let me get this all together. Here is the control tier list of all the control cards. Comment down below what you think. If you think I missed anything, if you enjoy, consider subscribing. It helps out the channel a ton. I'm going to be doing some new cool videos as well that hopefully you'll enjoy. And if you did like the video as well, comment down below your thoughts. And hit the bell as well. I was like, is there something else that like YouTubers say? Yeah, hit the bell, ring the bell. Actually, I don't know. I don't really care about that. But if you enjoy it, then you can do it. And I'm excited to see you next time.